In this episode of GarageBand Weekly, we're taking a look at iOS 15 again. We're talking about the Apple October event again. We're looking at a brand new guitar that integrates directly with GarageBand. That's going to be pretty cool. And our feature today is all about GarageBand Mac because I'm going to be creating a brand new cover song for my band Righty Dokie right here on the channel in GarageBand Mac. And if you know me, you know that GarageBand Mac is not exactly my strong suit. So all of that and more coming up here on GarageBand Weekly. Let's do it.
GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kronk Song. This is GarageBand Weekly. My name is Pete Johns. This is Studio Live today. If it's your first time here, what we like to do on this channel is help you create, record, and release your best music. And this show in particular is all GarageBand all the time. I like to say it's the only weekly show about GarageBand on the internet. I have no factual basis for that except for the fact that I've never seen another one. So I'm going to go with it. We're going to, until someone calls me out on it and says, no, what about GarageBand Daily? I'm like, oh no, I didn't know about that. So today's show is going to be a bit different. We're going to be in two parts. So the first half of the show is going to be the usual stuff. We'll talk about the news. We'll go through a rant. We'll do some tips. We'll talk about some apps. And then we'll answer your questions as well, by the way. If you've got a question and you're here live, you can do this. Just drop the word question in front of your comment down in the comment section and I'll answer that. But in the second half, we're going to be creating a cover song. Now, if you're watching this on the replay and the video just suddenly cuts off, it means that Pete's got himself a copyright claim for doing this cover song, and the rest of the show will then be put onto a different video. So if you're watching on the replay and you get to a point, there'll be a card that'll pop up, it'll be on the end screen, it'll do all the things, and be down in the description as well. There'll be a link to where the video is, if that actually happens, which it probably will. So, and if not, I'll probably just split that out anyway and have that as a separate video. So if you just want to see that, you can do it. All right, let's crack on, shall we, with the news and notes of the week. So the first bit of news we want to talk about is iOS 15. Now, we know that we're at the point where iOS 15 is probably a worthwhile upgrade because I was talking to my wife and I said, Georgie, it's time, I think, that you update to iOS 15 now. Because she doesn't like to update unless she really has to, which I understand because I'm the same. And I said to her, yeah, look, there's some, especially in iOS 15.01, there were a few bugs and a few issues with security that needed to be updated, so she needed to update there. 14.8 is still by all reports okay security-wise, but if you're on 15 or 15.01, you definitely want to update. So over here on 9 to 5 Mac, they talk about some of the fixes there, and this is linked down in the description as well, that they're releasing 15.02 with fixes for AirTag, MagSafe, and more. So there's a bunch of information in there about what's actually being fixed up. But I think at this point in time, we're about a month in. I think 15.02, usually that second dot point iteration is usually the safe point where any of the major bugs, any of the major issues have now been ironed out. And I've updated all my devices now. My daily driver iPhone 12 is on iOS 15.02. My secondary one that I use for GarageBand stuff is on 15.02. My iPad Pro is on 15.02, and I haven't had any major issues. I will say what I say with every update, which is if you are in the middle of a big major project, do not update. It is important that you keep some stability going on. So I don't recommend updating if you're 2 days before doing a major single that you're about to release. Then you might want to just hold back on that one. But for most people at this point in time, 15.0.2, pretty safe. I think you're going to be okay. Let's move on to our next topic, which is the Apple event. So yes, it's finally been officially announced. There it is. You can now go there. Look, 24,000 people already like it. They don't know what the announcement is, but they already like it. And guess what? I'm one of them. So Sucker Pete's already like, yay, I'm all in. But that is going to be streamed live. Now, it's less than 24 hours away. So you can see there it is at in 18 hours time. So it's 3:30 a.m. for me. I am going to attempt to get up and actually watch it live. More likely, I'll get up at about 5:30 a.m. and quickly race through it like triple speed to find out what happened, because then I have a live show directly following that announcement. So an early show tomorrow, and thank you to Jade Starr. I accidentally scheduled it over her news start time that she's got on her show, but we've juggled things around and we've got it working so that now it will be at a time that will help everyone out. So check out the video there, that's linked there, and then join me as I talk about it. So if you want to watch the 2 hours of like, well, it's usually 2 hours, one to 2 hours usually that they last. 3:30 a.m. It'll probably go to 5:30 a.m. for me. If you want to watch the 2 hours, by all means, you can go ahead and do that. If you want the just the facts, ma'am, without the hype, then you can jump in and we'll be breaking it all down here on the show as well. Next up, just before I started, one of my Facebook friends, Kevin, sent me a link. And now, look, in all honesty, I get sent a lot of links to a lot of stuff, and some of it's super cool, and some of it, yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll check that out when I get a chance. And he sent me this, and I'm like, oh, okay, a new guitar, whatever. You know, guitars are a dime a dozen, right? Now, I've got a poll question, by the way. If you're here live, check out the poll that is linked right down there, because I'm asking what you think of this. And once you see it, let me know what you think of this. So, it is the Fusion guitar. So, what is the Fusion guitar? Well, as you can see here, it's not cheap, $879. The world's first electric guitar with seamless iPhone digital integration, allowing players to have the best electric guitar apps at their fingertips. All-in-one electric guitar features a built-in amp and speakers. So there's a 20-watt amp built in and speakers. You can see at the top there, it's got like we'll show you some more pictures in a minute, but it's got a little socket there where you can slot in your iPhone. It's a maple, full-scale Canadian maple with Canadian maple fingerboard, and you can buy it. But check this thing out. We'll go back to the main page here. So we'll just go to the Fusion guitar and we'll go to the features here. So, as you can see here, a high-quality electric guitar and much more, bringing together studio-quality iPhone integration with powerful built-in audio system. The Fusion guitar provides you with all the tools you need to play, learn, and create anywhere. Now, goes without saying, but I don't have one of these. I haven't ordered one of these, and I'm in no way affiliated with them. I just think this is a fascinating thing. There it is. You can play anywhere. It's got a lithium-ion battery on board that you can use there. You can connect it up to your iPhone. It's got the built-in GarageBand, built-in looping capabilities, built-in lithium-ion battery so that you can take it on the go. You've also got traditional headphone and traditional quarter-inch outputs on there. It kind of looks cool. So I'm going to come in here. We'll go into the apps guide, because you can run Jam Up Pro, you can run GarageBand, and it's all directly in there. So I'm assuming that it works in the way that it's like a guitar interface as well, so that you can record directly from your guitar without anything. Now, we've seen similar sorts of things to this with keyboards in the past. So you've got things like the MIDI, what is it from IK Multimedia, the iRig keys that has a built-in audio interface. But as far as I know, this is the first time we've seen a guitar with this level of iOS integration and GarageBand integration. And where's the picture where it's got this here? Look at that. And it's a pretty chunky unit there, like with the speakers there, like the speaker across the top there and your speaker there. But yeah, having your iPhone just there on the top of your guitar, so you're playing and then you're like, oh, I'll just adjust the gain there. I just need a little bit more distortion, and then just keep playing. I mean, yeah. I don't know whether it's novelty factor or whether it's actually cool. But as I said, Kevin, who sent this to me, actually owns one. And he says it's very, very cool. And he's created some cool tunes with it. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Let's see what folks here think. So today, no, just no. No? So Audible Videos, not into it. Mark says it looks thick and awkward. Yeah. SM Borthwick, it looks like one of those inflatable guitars you can buy in toy shops. It does a little bit. Interesting. Yeah. Is there a question from Peter? Can you record an actual guitar as MIDI? Yeah, kinda. There's an app called MIDI Guitar too, which I think I saw Thomas already pop in there as well. It does look bizarre, but again, you know, remember when the iPad came out and everyone went, why would anyone ever want a giant iPhone, like a big tablet that you can't even use a stylus with? And then we went like a year later, everyone had an iPad. So I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah. Thomas said I voted in that sight unseen. Would probably lose the poll with this mobile app if I didn't vote. There you go. It is an ugly guitar. Like it's not pretty because I guess because it has to have all that guts in there. I don't know how comfortable that would be to play because it would be pretty thick on the top there. And yeah, I'm just thinking that that's where I sort of rest my arm, and it would be a bit awkward to be out there like that. But Let me know what you think. Do vote in the poll if you're here live. If you're watching on the replay, I'm intrigued to know what you think. Is this something you'd buy? Look, if at half the price, I'd probably consider it. 879 US Freedom Eagle dollars is a lot, especially here in Australia. So that would translate with shipping. I'm reckoning I'm out a good 1,400 if I wanted to get that sent across the various ponds. So Fusion Guitars, if you want me to try one out, Pete at studiolive.today.com. But yeah, looks interesting. Kim's going with the meh. Does look awkward. The only way is to find out, I guess. We'll see how we go. We'll see. Maybe cut to 2 weeks time where Pete's just like, so here's my Fusion guitar, folks, and start. No, maybe not. The final thing I wanted to talk about here is that this is episode 96, which means that we are very close now to this one here. This is GarageBand Weekly, episode 100. So it's already all set up here. The stream's all set up. You can put a reminder on there. In fact, what I'll do is we'll copy the link here, or you can just search GarageBand Weekly 100, and I'm just going to pop this here in the live chat. So if you want to, you can jump on over there and set yourself a reminder. Even give it a thumbs up, because why not? You know it's going to be cool. And I can now announce that the guests that we'll be having on the show, so it'll be a roundtable with myself and two other fairly well-known GarageBand creators in the YouTube world, and that is, of course, the one, the only Patrick from the GarageBand Guide. And we've also got Dan Baker joining us over from the UK as well. So if you don't know Dan Baker, he is an amazing and accomplished musician and has a heap of great tutorial videos all about GarageBand as well. So the three of us getting together and nerding out over GarageBand goodness for an hour. You won't want to miss that. It's going to be a heap of fun, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with Dan and with Patrick all about GarageBand on episode 100. There you go, you're caught up. That's your news and your notes for the week as they relate to GarageBand and Apple creation. If you do have questions, as I said before, if you'd like to throw a question in front of them, I do keep an eye on the chat throughout the show. Just put the word question at the start of your comment, and I will circle back. We kind of do the Q&A peppered in as we go through the show here, so feel free to ask any questions. And again, if you're just joining us, if you're watching on the replay in particular, if the stream just ends, it means that, because when we get into the cover song that we're going to do in the second half, it may generate a copyright claim. And if that does happen, there'll be a link up there and down in the description that'll take you straight to the second half if you are watching on the replay and it suddenly goes away. Because I wanted to let you know that here now, because once it's gone, it's gone. Yes, it should be a lot of fun with Patrick and Dan. I'm just going to sit back like this and just let the boys talk, because I do a lot of the talking a lot of the time, and I know that Patrick and Dan both have a lot of valuable input, and it'll be great to hear their thoughts on sort of, the history of GarageBand and how they've used it, but also the future of GarageBand. We'll be talking a bit about that as well, with all the changes we've seen to iPads, and I know that it's going to be a bit interesting, because Dan's very much about not old school in particular, but he's very much a proponent of, look, don't update unless you need to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he loves a lot of the retro tech stuff. Patrick's probably in the middle in terms of, he likes the newer stuff and he's definitely upgraded. I'm by no means bleeding edge, but I tend to be the guinea pig. I throw myself under the bus so that you folks don't have to. So it'll be interesting to see our different perspectives and different things that go on there. All right, let's have a rant. Now, this one is not going to be super GarageBand related, but it is related to artists that are starting out and are about to release music. Now, you may be aware that I do a show every week called Your Music Live. It's sponsored by DistroKid. This show, it's not particularly sponsored by DistroKid, but they are a sponsor of the channel on my other shows. So I'm a big proponent of releasing your music. My mantra around this channel is create, record, release. And I get asked a lot from people releasing, what artist name should I use to release my music? So here's the thing with artist names. It's challenging for two reasons. Is that you want an artist name that sits somewhere in the middle between too generic and too unique. And what do I mean by too unique? Well, some people have names that are so difficult to pronounce, spell, type, search for, that no one is ever going to find you. Now, I'll give the example. There is a band that is called, I think it's called dit, 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 or dot, dot, dot. It is 3 exclamation marks. That is the name of the band. Let's jump over here to YouTube Music, and I just want to see if I can actually find, because I should be able to find them if I search in YouTube Music. But if you search the internet in general for 3 exclamation marks, guess what you're going to find? Nothing related to that band. So let's just see. Yeah, there they are. So if we come over here, they're called Chick Chick Chick, and they're actually named after, if you've ever seen the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy, the language that they have in there, which is all the like clicks and chicks and things. So they're called Chick Chick Chick, but they're exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So if we search that, look, nothing found. Nothing found for just that, but you actually have to put the dirt, and then it's going to give you that suggestion, and then there they are. So, and look, it looks like in all these streaming platforms, they've actually had to put brackets chick afterwards, just so that people can actually find them. Was it them that did a cover version, I think, of, I think it might be this one. I won't play it because, again, copyright, but I think they did a cover of the REM song Man on the Moon, which must be this one, Must Be the Moon. It's very cool anyway. But yeah, obviously, if you go to the Google, I'm a bit worried here now what I'll actually find if I do just search that. But clearly, yeah, look, nothing. No, doesn't match any documents, doesn't find anything with that. So is it a great idea to name your band a bunch of symbols, or for Prince to be just love symbol? Yeah, probably not, because people aren't going to find you. For the same reasons, if your name is Tom Smith or Jack Jones, actually Jack Jones is an artist, but anyway, or Jack Johnson. I mean, for starters, if you're Jack Johnson, don't release as Jack Johnson, because guess what? There already is a Jack Johnson. So if you're going to get your music found, it's not going to be found. For me, I was lucky that the only Pete Johns that was doing anything anywhere was like a baseball player from the late 1800s, and the other dude was like a doctor that was doing videos about like balance issues or something. So yeah, when I looked online, there was no one. So the thing with an artist name is, number one, do your research. Make sure that if you're choosing a name, no one else is using it. You want to be unique. Number two, if it's too generic, so if your name's too generic, you may want to spice it up a bit. So if your name is Tom Smith, maybe you're Tommy Q Smith or Tommy P Smith, or just a completely different name. Like, be like artists in Australia like Lior. His name's not Lior, but he is that. And Lior, there's only really one Lior. So go with something like that. And then on the other side, don't be so unique that no one will ever find you. Like, yeah, it's fine to be unique. I made a bit of a mistake with this because I've got a band called Righty Doki, and that has problems in that it is hard to spell. So there's different ways to spell it. So if we come in here to Google and we're like Righty Doki, and it comes from, Righty Doki, skip Righty Doki, makey blokey. But if we just search Righty Doki, thankfully, my stuff comes up there. But the weird thing is, my song is now up there before the stuff from Bottom, which is the Rick Mayo, Aid Edmondson show that the quote came from. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, Righty Doki skip in Urban Dictionary is there. So, but if you come down here, look, a lot of this now is related to Bottom, not to me. Look, you can get it. You can get a Righty Doki mug. Didn't know that. Very cool. So I just wanted to talk about that because a lot of people, and here's the thing, not that you can't change it once you release, but it is a good idea to not change your artist name once you release, because places like Apple Music and Spotify and YouTube Music, they really don't like it. They've really got a problem with folks who release under a name and then pull down those songs and then re-release under a different name, because so many artists are trying to do this to kind of spam and scam the playlisting system. So someone will release a song as like Jimmy Jimbo, and then that won't work. So they pull it down and they're like Jimmy Grimbo, and they release it again, and they just keep trying to get on playlists again and again, thinking that the more times they try, the more likely they're going to be. So yeah, don't do that either, because the platforms have caught on and they really don't like it. I'm going to have a coffee, and it's a good time to mention Sarah Newen, Thriving Creator Podcast. If you're a creative type, and I'm pretty sure you are, grab your podcast app right now, type in Thriving Creator, and check out Sarah's podcast. It is super cool. You'll not be disappointed, because she's a very, very cool lady, and she interviews some very cool people on that one. Yeah, I think I need to do my own Righty Doki mug. Since I'm about to do another Righty Doki song, maybe we need Righty Doki mugs. There you go. That's there's Audible Video's future name. Two periods between brackets. Let's go with that. Alrighty. Let's go. Yeah. Use a randomly look, there are band name generators. Use a randomly generated adjective and a random noun, and boom. Exactly. Sweaty socks. No, that's not good. You need a better noun. Sweaty teacup. Yeah, hang on. Who wouldn't go and see Sweaty Teacup live? Sweaty Teacup. Yeah. Cool. So, Deep Gravity is saying the mood is getting rude. I know. I'm reading through some of the comments and I'm like, yeah, I might just leave those there for the folks in the live chat to enjoy. I think Jade Star's point was that, yeah, look, don't go for the boringest thing either. For instance, there's a cool band that we played on the weekend called High Chair, and it was high, spelled H-A-I chair. And look, if they were just high chair, H-I-G-H chair, sure, it would be more searchable, but it's also too generic. You wouldn't be able to find it. But high chair, knowing that they're H-A-I chair, it kind of makes you think, oh, yeah, they're like that high chair. And, yeah, it gives it a little bit more. So, yeah, don't go... It's hard. It's happy medium. Don't go completely nuts with it. And for the love of your deity of choice, don't put things like brackets. I have an album called Selfish Aware, but it's self bracket ish and bracket aware. And I thought I was so funny and clever because I'm like, so it's selfish, but it's self ish. As in it's, yeah, we get it, Pete. But now I can't explain that. And, just search self bracket ish bracket aware. No, I should have just made it selfish aware and left it with there. The Gentle Giants. Exactly. Yep, Sweaty Teacup. That would be it. There is a band name generator. Let's just see if we can find it while we're having some fun here, because fun is fun, right? Let's go to the band name generator. And here it is. Here it is. namegenerator.org.uk. Burp. Name generator. So to generate a name, you can use this, and I haven't used this in forever, so hopefully it doesn't give us anything super inappropriate. So you can need a prop, go random, fill the entire form with random ideas. So let's do this. So you can put some adjectives in here. You can put, in fact, why don't we do this? 2 adjectives to describe. So we'll go sweaty, because that's what we had before, and we'll go inconsistent. The lead member's first name, let's go, Pete. We'll put myself in there. A place that is special significant to your band, Rundle Mall. And a singular noun, let's go, tablet. Oh, man, you got a whole bunch. Oh, there's too much else to put in. All right, write me some band names. Let's see, can we use it with just them? All right. Too many missing variables. All right, we'll just have to do it randomly. Fill in the form with random. So there you go. It's filled it in. You have to put too many stuff in there. So let's write me some band names with the randomness. So am I Sharp Play, 1 zillion times Sharp, Sausage Metal, a Sharp can for the Vandals, Arthur Wonder. I kind of want to be Arthur Wonder from now on. Sharp Brown Day, Goldfishica. Arthur eats the sausage. Okay, we're done. Put a cork in it, we're done. Once I hit Arthur eats the sausage, that's a very different kind of band name that we're going with there. But play around with it. It's, again, you can get it over at name-generator.org.uk, and it's a lot of fun to play around with. Yeah, sausage metal could be it. Sausage metal, but no. All right, should we move on? The rant went a little bit pear-shaped today. Pear-shaped could be a good band name too. All right, let's jump on over here because we're going to bring up, if I can find it. Oh, it's gone away. We'll reshare my iPad screen here because I'm going to try something here, which is I want to play around with the Voice Memos app, because not for this project I'm about to work on, but I need to do a tutorial on this anyway, so this may become the tutorial. So we might actually just sort of do a bit of a live tutorial recording here. Let's just put me down here, and I'll use this one here so I can slot myself in the corner. There we go. Then you can see the whole iPad screen there. We'll just shimmy it on over a little bit, like so. And cool. So I want to show how we can actually export from the Voice Memos app here in iOS and send it over to GarageBand to play around with. So let's get on and do that. Just make sure I got my mouse. There's my iPad mouse there, and we'll bring it all across. All right. Sorry, I'm going to do this because I'll just clip this out and make this an extra tutorial. I know, I'm such a cheat. Don't you hate that? The Voice Memos app, the Voice Memos app here in iOS on your iPhone and iPad is very cool for capturing ideas. But what if you want to grab those ideas and then bring them over into GarageBand? Well, let's take a look at how we do that. So I've got some ideas in here. Let's find one that looks a bit fun. This one here is a funky idea, and I've given myself tickets here. I've said it's John Butlerish. So if we click on these ones and then we play like this, it will play our audio. We're not plugged in. It helps if you plug in first. We will plug in and then we'll play our audio. We've lost it. See, it's punishing me. It's punishing me for trying to cheat here. So why don't we just get this done here on the live show, and then I'll do a separate tutorial where I can actually do it properly. Oh dear, this is why I'm hanging out. I'm hoping that the Apple announcements that happen tomorrow are about the fact that the new, what is it, Monterey ones come. Oh my goodness, Reflector's having puppies here. We'll come over here to GarageBand. I'm hoping that the new Mac OS that's coming soon is going to come out very soon, because that actually has the ability to do direct broadcasting over Wi-Fi to your Mac from your iPhone or your iPad. Whereas at the moment, as you can see, we're using this and we're struggle town. Got a good question from Scott, by the way, which we'll circle back to about music memos and whether we can still use that in iOS 15. I am not sure. We'll test it. We'll test it in just a moment. All right, is this working now? Yes, it is. So we'll move this over here. All right, let's go back to our voice memos. The joys of live, eh? It's always fun. It's always fun in games. All right, so we'll go back to the start of this one. And as I was saying, we can play. Woo. I'll try again. So there's our idea there. And this is cool because, we can capture ideas when we're on the go. And the cool thing that you may not realize is that if you capture something on your iPhone or your iPad or your Mac, as long as you use iCloud as your storage location, they all sync up. So I can load this up on my Mac and have all of these here. But if I want to send it on over, what I can actually do is hit the share button here. And we can actually share this directly out to, not there. We can share this by saving it to our files. Now you might think, can I just send it straight to GarageBand? You can to some apps like Audio Share and iMovie and things. GarageBand doesn't accept audio coming straight from an app, so you have to send it to its own files location. But it's pretty simple. Let's show you how. We hit the Save to Files button here. Now the place you want to send it to, it has chosen the right place, but just so that you can see here, you want to go to On My iPad, you want to scroll down to GarageBand, like so, and then under GarageBand there'll be this one here called GarageBand File Transfer. You'll want to hit the Save button, and that's going to put it directly into your GarageBand File Transfer folder. So if we jump on over here to GarageBand, what we'll see is, look, we've got a brand new, a little one over there in the corner. So let's come out of here and we're going to go to my ideas folder and create a brand new project here. We just need to go to the audio recorder track here. And then what we can do is go to our track view, jump on over here to the corner, hit that one there. And this funky John Butlerish idea will be here. Now it's in an M4A file. So this isn't something that you would use as like a final version. But if you just want to bring your ideas in here, check that out. It's now got that whole idea in here. And we can take a listen to the part that I actually wanted it to be, which was this bit here. There it is. So it's good to go, and we can use this. Now, of course, what we can do is we can trim it just like we would any other thing. We can bring it to the front there, and we can move it back to here. Now, the problem's going to be that if you want to create a song here on the grid, you're not going to be able to unless you can match it up. So unless you've played this to a metronome, yeah, you're not really going to be able to match up and play it at the same speed all the way through. So let's just see if I can find the tempo of this, because we can tap in a tempo. We can tap it in here. Do we have mono audio going on here? Mono on the right? Yeah, maybe. What we can do is let's just play this, and I'll just try and tap the tempo in. So we'll hit play. And you can hear there that it keeps sort of moving it around because it keeps trying to adjust it. This doesn't have the ability to change that. No, it doesn't. So it's about 102. So what I've worked out from tapping the tempo in is it's about 102. So let's see if we can get this first hit right on the first marker here. We should be able to actually do this. Burp, 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 burp. Let's just see if this is going to line up here if we turn on our metronome. No, so you can see the challenges that you're going to have here is that, yeah, and unless you're playing to a click track to begin with. But you know what? If you just wanted to capture your ideas in here and say I now wanted to sing over the top of this thing, I could plug in my microphone. So let's just say that I do want to do that. This is a good test. I haven't actually done this before. Ooh. So say I was recording a demo and I just had that. I can plug in. I've got my iRig Pro Duo over here, which I wasn't planning to use. So this could go pear-shaped, but we'll see. So we plugged in there. Bar, bar, bar. We'll turn up our gain. And let's add another track here. We'll go plus, and we'll just add a audio recorder track, a lead vocal. There you can see it coming through. If we turn monitoring on. Oh, there we go. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now if we hit the record button, we can sing along. When you call my name, it's like it's a razor blade in my ear. There you go. So yeah, if you were just doing a demo and you recorded your guitar part and then you wanted to bring it in and start layering up, obviously unless you're using virtual instruments, which should be kind of out of luck at that point. But if you were just doing something like this, you could come in here and you've got your. When you call my name, it's like it's a razor blade in my ear. Very cool. So yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward to get your stuff from voice memos. Now, a question that we had there, we'll jump straight over into this now. A question that we had from Scott was music memos. Is music memos still a thing? Now, if you're not familiar, just trying to get out of there. Wrong way. If you're not familiar with music memos, it has been deprecated, or not deprecated, but it's no longer being updated. I guess that's deprecated. So music memos used to be the companion app for GarageBand. So if we come in here and we type music memos, we'll load it up and take a look. Now, the problem with this is that you can't download it now. So if you've never downloaded it before, you can't download it unless, actually there's ways around that. So if you log in, if you log in with someone's account that does have it, then they can download it onto your device. Or if you log into someone else's device, I'll have to read it. When GarageBand had this problem and iMovie had this problem, there were ways around there. All right, export your music memos have been made since the last export. Yeah, okay, whatever. So let's just see if music memos is going to... Oh, I just unplugged my mic. Let's plug the microphone back in because we'll need this because it's going to record. And I don't have my guitar handy, but we'll just plug that in. Ba-da-da-da-da. Too loud. I get told that a lot. Let's la-la-la-la. Let's see if we can get music memos to record in just something that's a bit of an idea here. Yeah, that was really loud, wasn't it? Let's see if it is it going to be in. Okay, so that's way too loud. We'll just turn down the gain. That was pretty terrible anyway. So how do we delete it? There we go. Delete that idea, and then we'll just try and do something that's another melodic idea here. This is fun. So the short version is, yes, it does seem to be working here, okay? We play it back. And as you can see here, if you've never used music memos before, the cool thing about it, and I'm sorry if you've not downloaded it and you can't get any of this, is you can actually add in bass and drums, and you can kind of get an idea of what your song's going to sound like before you even do it. It did a pretty good job there, considering that I don't have perfect pitch and I wasn't singing particularly well. But you can change around, so you can tap and hold here and you can make this. Let's make it an upright bass. So let's make it a bit more complex, and let's bring our drums in here, and we will make it a vintage kit and give it some ride cymbal action, and then see what it's like. This is fun. So short. Ready? Fun things are fun. So yeah, music memos for the win. Unless you haven't downloaded it before, then for the lose. And I apologize that you can't, if you can't use it because you haven't downloaded it before. But yeah, if you do have it, if you had already downloaded it, then all you need to do is jump on in there and have a play with it. Seems to be still working and functioning all good in the hood. Let me just double check that my this has actually updated to 15.02, and I'm not telling lies and telling fibs. Oh, that was on. I've downloaded but not actually installed the upgrade. I'm still on 14.8. How embarrassing. It's a good thing I'm not a professional like doing a live stream or anything. So let's quickly jump in here onto my iPhone and just make sure that the same thing is working still here. I did test it the other day. All right, okay. And I'm sure it was still working. So here it is on the iPhone. All right. We'll just add the same things in here. Just make sure. I don't want to everyone to go away and think it's working. It's not. Yep. It's cool. It's good to go. And the other thing that I'll mention with voice memos and music memos is if you are playing along to a metronome or to a click track, then it will actually be absolutely usable to import it. And the other thing to keep in mind is you can bring in things like found sounds. You can create your own sound to bring into the sampler and then use it there. So there's a lot of flexibility and a lot of options that you have with that. So all is well. It's a work in progress. Exactly right. Our friend Deep Gravity says it is a work in progress. And yes, the bird, who's gone through many names, he was Duncan, then he was Donuts, and now he's Crispy. So he'll eventually get one name to stay with. But yes, he is very thirsty. There's music memos. If you've downloaded it before, you can have it. If you haven't, you can't. I apologise for that. Hello to other folks who've dropped on in. We've got Derek Smith is here. We've got Black Covers who's here. I hope you are all doing well. Hello to Russ8889, Kim Harden Hudson. Hello to everybody who is here live on the show. All right, let us continue on. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. So we look at voice memos and voice memos. So the only thing left in this part of the show is to let you know that this show, as always, is brought to you by our GarageBand Gear Guide. So if you head on over and don't go to the band name generator, but if instead of going to there, instead of checking out Arthur Eats the Sausage. Sorry, if you missed that part, you're going to go, what the heck are you talking about? If you go to studiolivetoday.com/courses, that is going to be your one-stop shop to jump in here and check this one out. So if you're brand new to GarageBand iOS, for just 10 American dollar bucks, you can grab yourself 5 hours of curated content. Now, man, Russ8889 has done the course and he created some great GarageBand tracks in the month of Songtember just using this course and has rave reviews about it. Well, he said it was okay. He said, yeah, it's fine, Pete. But yeah, the cool thing about this is it's 5 hours of content. And you're thinking, well, how's that different to YouTube? Well, it's fully documented, so it means it's transcribed. It means that you can get the transcriptions in English, French, or Spanish as well. So that's a super cool thing. And it's searchable, and you can even ask me questions. So I've got folks in there that are students that paid their $10, and then they get the ability to ask me a question if they come across something that they can't solve for. So if you do want to jump in there, as Thomas Christ kindly says, studiolivetoday.com/courses. All right. Let's continue on. So this is the main part of this show. And as I've mentioned a few times now, if you're watching on the replay and the show ends in just a couple of moments, it's because I've had to split it and put it into a different video. So that'll be linked up there and down in the description. You can jump over to that. But for those who are here live, guess what we're going to do? We're going to jump in and create ourselves a cover song. And we're going to do it in, of all places, GarageBand for Mac. Now, I'll give you the full disclosure on this one, is before I started this show, what did I do? Well, I jumped over to Patrick at the GarageBand Guide and I watched his GarageBand beginner video because I'd forgotten how to even set up a project and how to do a lot of the things that we're going to be doing here today. Now, I'll play you just before, when I was doing some testing just to set up here, I put this together and I'll play this too. It won't sound like anything yet, but it will build to this, because what I did is I went out there and I asked you, the Studio Live Today audience, what song I should actually record for this project. And over the next 2 weeks, I'll be recording an 80s synth pop kind of disco kind of song. And I wanted to pick a cover song that was meaningful to me, but that would actually be kind of cool to do. So I'll tell you what that song is in a little while. But at the moment, here's what we have together. We'll turn the volume up. So, all I've done so far is grabbed the electronic kit and I've brought it on in here, and the electronic template, and then we've started playing around with this. So let's go back to scratch, shall we? Let's bring it right back to the start here, and we're going to go to GarageBand, we're going to go to File, we're going to close this one here. We don't want to save it because I haven't actually done anything yet. And let's get rid of the iPad in the background because that's just going to be a distraction. In fact, what we should be doing, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to update my software on the iPad because clearly, I don't know why that hadn't actually been done. All right, actually, I'll do that afterwards. Otherwise, it'll take up bandwidth if it hasn't downloaded everything. So when we're here in GarageBand on the Mac and we want to create a new project, this is the options that we get here. Now, ordinarily, I go empty project, and then I just put in my details here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try, because I've never used these project templates. There's a keyboard collection, amp, voice, hip-hop, electronic, and songwriter. Because we're doing something a bit disco, I'm going to go electronic here today, just for fun. So we'll go electronic, and then the tempo that I want here, I want it to be doo-dee, 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 doo-dee. So we'll tap it in. We probably want it a bit quicker than the default. So 132 seems to be about where it's sitting. Oh, maybe even a little bit faster. Well, 134 to start with, because we're going to start with this. Now, I like to do things in G major, and it happens to suit my vocal range, so we're going to make it G major for this one. It is 4/4, and the cool thing about GarageBand Mac is that I've got two interfaces set up here. I've got my mixer, my Zoom live track, which is what you're hearing me through on this particular video, and I've got my Scarlett 2i2, which is plugged in over here that I can plug microphones and guitars into. So that's what we're going to use there. We're going to choose all this stuff, and then it's going to load up this template. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is do File and Save As, because I want to give this sucker a name. And where I save my stuff is on my iCloud drive. I don't do it in this default location because I don't trust that I will keep it there. So I actually have a GarageBand Mac folder here, and there's my very few things that I've been creating so far. We're going to save this one as Mystery Cover Song. Ooh, so mysterious. And hit save. So at the moment, all we have is Magnus doing his big room drums that you heard before that do this. Now, that's not exactly what I'm going to go with on this particular song, but it's going to give me enough of a beat. Now, if I didn't have Magnus there, if we muted him out, we can use just the metronome. So this metronome we can turn on here and it would do this. Is that inspiring? No, it's not. So I don't like the metronome. I like a drum beat anyway. But this is where I start using my fingers and I start trying to grab it up here. I want to actually loop this. So I think I can, is there a way to just extend this? Yeah, we can just do that, can't we? All right. So what I might do, in fact, we'll do it in chunks. We've got the first chunk there. We'll do it in 8-bar chunks because this might help us out. So we'll set up the first 4 8-bar chunks because I haven't worked out the arrangement of this song. I haven't worked out what I'm doing with it. I've just got an idea in my head, and the idea in my head is probably not going to suit any of these sounds that we have in this electronic pack. But let's just take a listen to what they are first. Now, the cool thing about Mac is you can grab yourself your on-screen keyboard. So I don't have my MIDI controller plugged in here, my MIDI keyboard. So I'm just going to hit the Command K, and I'm going to bring up this one. Right. And for goodness sake, GarageBand iOS. Patrick did a great video about GarageBand iOS and the features that are missing recently. The typing keyboard. A lot of us have keyboards on our iPads now. Apple, can we please have this typing keyboard feature on our iPads? It would be super handy. I know the touch screen's there, and you're thinking, why would people want it? Trust me, it's just super handy. So we've got the ability to use the keys here. So A through to whatever that is, apostrophe for those. And then up here, W, E. They're up on the black keys. You can change, you've got pitch bend up the top there. You can change your octave by using Z and X down here. So we can go down and up the octave. You can see it changes there on the keyboard. Whoop, we hit the record. The problem is I hit the R button and that set off the record because W, E, and T are all the black notes. But if you hit the one in between the record button, it starts recording. So we don't want that. All right. So the idea I had here was probably not going to work with these. Let's just sample them. all these sounds. Cool sounds, not what we need at the moment. Oh, a pattern. Nice. This one. I like it. Yeah, nah. So, yeah, we're probably not going to use any of these sounds. So what I'll do, though, is I'll leave them there just for now, just for a bit of fun. But we're going to add a new track. So we're going to right-click. We're going to go new software instrument track. And it'll default to our musical typing keyboard, right? But we don't really want that. We want something better. We want a bass. So I don't know what bass I'm going to use here. I'm thinking maybe something like the... What's the Stinger bass? Because we don't have that one in GarageBand iOS. Oh, we're a little higher. Let's go down a couple of octaves. What do you reckon? Should we go with that one? Let's just try this one to start with, because here's the idea I have for my... All right, let's try this out. So we'll record this in, and I'll just do the intro section here. So I'm just doing some octaves here in like the E minor, D minor, C, which is the start of this particular song. See, you're getting more and more clues by the moment. So what we can do, actually, I don't need to use my mouse. I can just hit the R button and get ready to record here. So we'll hit R. Right, now, what mistake did I make there? The same mistake I always make, which is I have this on. This sort of, what do they call that? The bit where it gives you the section and it goes back and starts re-recording that. But did it mess it up there? Did it get over the top of the front there? Sort of. We'll go with it though. We'll turn down that drum because that's going to get a little bit annoying. It's going to blow out your speakers there. This is an instant jam. Yeah, exactly. Use it. You can change it later. Great point from Thomas Christ there. You can actually change it afterwards. My thumbnail looks like I'm flipping the bird. Probably. No, I'm sure I'm fine. I'm a good boy. So that's what we're going with to start with this. Okay, I don't like that first bit that it did there. But the good thing is this all repeats itself. So what we can do is we'll just cut it there, because I know the second half of it I did fine. And then we can just loop this out like so. Nope, you can't do that on this one. Hang on. Yes, you can. You've got to do it from the top section. I'm learning, folks. I'm learning. So when you're dragging out here in GarageBand on Mac, if you drag from the bottom, it's just going to extend that section, but it's not going to actually loop the audio. Whereas if we drag from the top half, it will extend and loop, which is cool. So now this should sound a lot better. Right, so that's the start of what we've got here. Now we need a lead instrument here. So I'm going to bring in a new software instrument track, and I don't know what I'm going to use, but we need something sort of something synthy and something 80s. So we're going to just experiment here, and again we're going to change all this stuff as we go along. But we'll go 80s. Can we search? What if we just search? We'll search 80s. 80s chime vibe. Let's just sample a few of these. We'll bring back up our typing keyboard. Command K. No. All right, let's try this one. Are you with me yet? Who's going to be the first to guess the song that we're going to record here? It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks, folks. Strap in. All right. So this is going to be a bit challenging to play on the keyboard here. In fact, we can probably slow it down. This is the cool thing about doing something like this. You can just grab your tempo and slow it down a bit. Let's break it down to like 90 or so, and then record this. All right, we'll hit the record button, yeah. Man, this is really hard to play, even at a slow speed. Let's try that again. We'll undo, and we'll go back to the start. I've got to remember all my keyboard shortcuts. What's the shortcut? Oh, go to beginning. O? Is that just the O button or the 0 button? Nope, it's the button down on your key, on your number pad. All right, got it. All right, let's try this again, shall we? All right, we'll do it one more time here. I think this is going to be a banger. I think Colin Hay will be proud. I missed the second half of that one, so let's try it from there. So the first half was fine. Oh, keep pressing I, which seems to be a screen record button. Let's just try the second half again. We'll hit the R button to record. 2, 3, 4. We recorded from the wrong spot. We'll undo that again. We'll come to here. 2, 3, 3, 4. Oh, why does it keep going back to the start? Oh, look, we've got that thing on again. I don't know how I keep always having that on. Anyway, we'll try this again. Why is it doing that? All right, stay there. Still give me the count in. All right, but record from here. All right, there we go. So we'll put the speed back up here so it can actually sound like I was kind of envisaging, which is more like about a 130 tempo. I reckon that's about right. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can perform it at full speed here instead of having this. We'll just delete those out and bring it in, and we'll go. This will be interesting because you'll see the infancy of this. Oh, I hit the record button. This is like watching like a blind chimp try and use GarageBand on a Mac. All right, let's try it again. Oh, good times. 2. I think it just has to do the I reckon. We'll give it one more time, and then I'll put you out of your misery, and we'll sing some vocals on top of it. I'm getting better at restarting. GarageBand takes samurai patience. I believe you're correct. All right, should we grab the microphone? Because at this point in a project, I tend to start playing around with the mic rather than trying to play stuff in. Sometimes the stuff is in my head and the ideas are in my head more than they are able to come out in my fingers. Does that make sense? Has anyone ever done that? All right, let's load this up, and I've got to remember now how to actually do this. We'll bring these tracks up, drag them up to the top. And I'm pretty confident that we won't need to keep any of these instruments. So why don't we, can we shift click all these and delete them? Or control click? No? Do we just have to delete them one by one? I can't remember. I'm going to have to get like some private tuition from Patrick on GarageBand Mac because I struggle. This is by no means a tutorial, by the way, folks. This is very much a here's what I'm learning as I go. But let's right click and go new audio track. We'll get rid of that one there, and we'll go voice, and we'll just go a classic vocal here, and check. Oh, it's already in. Look at that. It's already set up. We're already hearing my Scarlett. Check, ba ba. The input gain looks pretty cool. And now I need to load up some lyrics. So we can get done this. Yes, Righty Dokie will be the artist for this song because it's going to be a bit 80s. All right, I'm going to search the vocals, and we'll just do a very basic vocal idea of this. This will be the point where we're going to get the copyright claim here, folks. If we don't, I'll be sad because it means I'm not singing it well enough. All right, so we've lined it up here. We are going to jump in and record. So we've got this one here. We'll go back to the start and we'll get into the groove of this one here. We obviously need a lot more stuff in here, but we'll just see if I can sing along to just the bass. You know what I need to do? I need to loop the bass out for the rest of the track. At least until we get to the chorus. All right. So we'll go to the start. We're on this track. Check. And we'll record. Check. 1, 5. Traveling in a fried out combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, alright. So yes, everyone's got it now. Everyone knows where we're at with this song. It was just in my head. It wouldn't leave my head that I just kept thinking about this song, and I kept thinking that this would make a pretty cool kind of disco song. So let's just see if we've got where the bit comes in. So there's our intro. Check. 1, 5. Traveling in a fried out combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said. And this is where, obviously, once we get into the crux of this, we can really start changing things up at that point. So we'll just adjust the bass for now. So we'll delete out there. No, wrong, Johns, stop it. So how do I delete just that one loop? Do I have to bring it back and unloop it now? Bring it back to the point that we want it here. And let's just at least play in the bass part that we want for the chorusy section. Because there's really only two main sections. The other reason I wanted to do this song is it's going to be pretty simple because there's kind of two main sections of this, which is just the verse bits in the minor key and then the major key, which is the choruses. So we'll go back to our bass here. We'll bring back up our keyboard, Command K. So I think we just want a pretty simple bass here through this one. And we'll obviously add other basses and other beats and other loops. It's going to be fun. This is just the infancy, the shell of this track. So we'll record this one in. She said, what the heck did I do there? Undo it anyway. Undo. All right, I had this on, and I was doing just that section. See, I consistently and constantly turn that on. What is the keyboard shortcut for that? I obviously keep pressing it. All right. So let's try this again. She said, I kind of like that split in the middle there, even though it's not really meant to be there. And then it goes back to its theme. So I've got to work out how to do like the looping and stuff in here in GarageBand. This is going to be this. I keep reaching for the screen with my hand, man. It's not cool. So let's just sing along. She said, "Do you come from a land down under?" Is this anything like your process? Probably not, because this isn't even really like my process. But it's fun, and it's you got to have fun with your music, don't you? All right. Do you come from a land down under? Women I've lost the words. Let's try that again. Undo. How do you just go back to the start of that section? I don't know. All right. Do you come from a land down under, where women glow and men plunder? Can you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. And then we're back to the OG sound. So that's this one here. So what we can do is we should be able to just bring that back to there. We'll copy this, and we should be able to paste it. Again, keep reaching up to the screen with my fingers, and that can go in here for the next section. And our bass will, again, be the same as we had here for the verse. So we can just grab all this bass and bring it on down and put this here. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. It's just lots of right-clicking and stuff instead of tapping. So we'll get there. So after we do the this... You better run, you better take cover. All right, let's just sing in the second verse here, just so that we've got that in here, and then we'll play around. We'll start layering a few different instruments here. How long do we have? We're over time. We're going to go over time here, folks. So we're up to there in the song. Buy bread from a man in Brussels, and we can get like some cool oohs and ahs and things going on in here. This is going to be a pretty interesting. Interesting will be the word for this project. All right. I got the wrong word on the first one. Undo and go back. If anyone's got tips or ideas of how I can do any of these processes quicker, because I'm very new to Mac, GarageBand Mac, let me know. And by the way, we'll be doing, I'll be moving into Logic in November, which is why I'm doing this here in October, because I need to get my GarageBand Mac chops up before I take the big plunge into Logic, right? Buying bread from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4", full of muscle. I got the buying bread from a man in Brussels. That's where it needs to be. It needs to be down there. Couldn't find the key. Buying bread from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4", full of muscles. I said, do you speak my language? And he just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said, all right. And that's where, in my head, when I was having this, that line there is where we just like give it a bit of a break there. So, and maybe with just a slightly different bass there, like a boom, boom, like this one. I said, do you speak my language? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. So this is where we can have some fun. We can bring in some rises and like really make this a bit more synthy. Because at the moment, this beat's not the right beat. We need more of a disco break as the beat. And we need like obviously a lot more pads and synths and things going on behind the scenes here. This vocal probably doesn't need to go with, what are we doing? You made changes to the current instrument in the instrument setting. Click save and save. What? Just continue. I don't know what's going on. Because I made changes to the vocal. We really want more of a compressed sort of vocal sound here. Let's just play this. From a man in Brussels. He was 6'4". That's a dance vocal. That's not bad. I said, do you speak my language? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said... Yeah, right. So we'll just add a little bit of bass here. So we'll bring up the typing keyboard again. So we just need like the bass just doing that there. So he just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich, and he said. So it just needs to go bump, 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 bump. All right, undo that. We'll do that again. So 2, 3. He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich, and he said. Yeah. And maybe this just needs one more hit on there. So it just needs to go to... Speak my language. He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said... All right, let's layer up this sucker and get a few sort of pads in here, because that's the next thing that we'll need to have. So let's see, what does GarageBand have in the way of pads? We'll add a new software instrument track, and obviously we can add external stuff and we can do other things as we continue on here, but we're just going to play around with. Let's just go 80s again and see what 80s stuff we have. That's the 80s bass. Oh, this is in the, what is this? Why is this alchemy? I didn't think we had alchemy. Bring up our typing keyboard. That's weird. Oh, come on, continue, fine. I think this could be good for a bit of a key sound in behind there. Let's just play it and play around with this key and see if this will work as a bit of a key sound here.
Traveling in a Friday combi on a hippie trip.
All right, so let's just try that. Try that just to start this, just to give it a little bit more tastiness.
Traveling in a Friday combi.
Yeah, maybe we just go with one note in there so we can layer this up with some other instruments. So we'll undo that. So maybe it's just... Yeah, let's just try that. 2, 3, 4.
Traveling in a Friday combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, do you come from a land?
All right, so I like the bit at the start there, so we'll leave that in, but the rest of it just all went a bit pear-shaped. So that's sort of sounding good.
Traveling in a Friday combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies.
All right, so that really didn't solve the pad situation. So we'll add a new software instrument. Do I need to save regularly here in GarageBand? Is that something I should be doing? Help me out, folks. Help me out. All right, let's grab this and what do we want? What do we just search pad? All right, we got the classic analog pad. We got the Emerald Haze pad. What's more of like a warm pad? We'll grab our. Maybe, or that could be kind of cool. The luminous pad. So let's just play along with this.
Traveling in a Friday combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous.
Got a bit of an Ice House kind of vibe, that one. That could work throughout the verses. Let's just try it, hey?
Traveling in a Friday combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, do you come from a land down under where women glow?
Yeah, okay. I think that's kind of cool. It doesn't solve the bit at the start here, so we definitely need another sort of pad here. So we'll add another software instrument. And we're close to what we'll end up doing here for this one. But I just wanted to start the process here, mostly to see how many copyright claims we can get this month. All right, I think we're just going to go with an E minor fifth here, just like going slowly in the background across this whole starting section. So let's just try this out.
Traveling in a Friday combi.
So something like that. Obviously, we'll turn it down. Now, I can't get the expression using the typing keyboard here, so as we record this, I'll start using the MIDI keyboard and other things as well as we go along. So we'll come back to this. Yeah. I keep reaching up and trying to move things with my fingers. We'll get over that in the future. I don't know. This may be the song. The thing is, this project, we could change it. The reason I've only called this mystery cover song is that I may come back to this later today and just go, nah. Actually, I want to go a completely different direction and do a different song. So if you have any other ideas with this one, if you've got your own input, if you think it should be this song, shouldn't be this song, if you've got an idea of, hey, Pete, you need some cowbell. In fact, we probably do need some cowbell in the chorus. Let's do that. Let's do the final thing. Let's find a cowbell, because I don't know where we can get one. Can you get one in the drummer track? We'll add a drummer track here. No, we'll have to just get a sample, won't we? We'll delete that. We'll see if GarageBand does have a cowbell. New software instrument, cow. We'll just search cow. No cowbell. There's bell. We'll have to play around with that in the future. It could be like a tunk, 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 and hits the same thing over and over again. That'd be cool.
Traveling in a fried out Combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous.
Let's swim this vocal in some reverb and delay, and then we'll call it a day. Mostly because I can't remember how to actually do the effects on a vocal. There we go. We click on that and we get to this thing here. So plugins. What do we want? So it's already got all those on there. Let's just use the master reverb, shall we? We'll go master. That's master echo. We want master reverb, or maybe we want some master echo as well. Yeah. What's the time? Oh, see, it's hard to use this. Let's just see what that does.
She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, "Do you come from a land down under, where women glow and men plunder? Can you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover."
Yeah, we need a lot more to fill out the chorus section, of course.
Find that from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4".
You know what we need with that? Again, I keep saying one more thing, but I'll do one more thing. Bye, in Brussels. Because this is I go low there. I probably need to duplicate this. Can we duplicate a track? How do we duplicate a track? There doesn't seem to be a track duplication option. New track with duplicate settings. Maybe it's exactly that. So let's just see if we can do a very quick ba 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 ba.
Find that from a man in Brussels.
Yeah, let's just do a quick idea of what I want to do with some harmony on this one.
Find that from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4", full of muscles. I said, "Do you speak my language?" He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said,
so there's some fun harmonies that we can play with in this that aren't necessarily in the original, but we can bring into this one with.
"Find that from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4", full of muscles."
I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying this, and that's the main thing with music, is you got to have fun with it. So that's going to do it for this particular section here. I hope that you enjoy this and are intrigued to see where this is going to go. I sure as heck am. I love the start of a project. I love the middle part. The finish part's always the most challenging, but the start of a project is always a lot of gosh darn fun. All right, let's finish off with the final thing, which is any questions that you may have. So we'll scroll up. Jade's liking Americans not liking Vegemite. Yeah, Vegemite's a very interesting thing. The problem is if you ever see someone trying Vegemite, they always put it on too thick. Australians only put like a very small scrape, and the same with Marmite, the same with Promite. Any of those yeast extract salty spreads are usually put on far too thickly. So if you're ever going to try it, just put a little bit on. I know I'm nothing if not determined. And yeah, we definitely need like a boom, 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 a deep sub bass in this. If we're going to make it a true party track, we definitely need to go and do that. I did make Murdering Time on GarageBand Mac. You'd think I'd remember a lot of what I did then, but I forgot it all. This is going to be fun because I don't have to think about, I have to think about the arrangement, but the reason I'm doing a cover song is I don't have to think about any of the lyrics or any of the actual chords and things. It's just a matter of changing it around. Today, my Australian friend gave me a spoonful of Vegemite and she puked. Well, yeah, don't eat a spoonful of Vegemite. It's not like Nutella. It's not better in larger doses. Barry Smith, I think you asked this question the other day. Download the driver. Most of them are plug and play. If it's not, download the driver. That's the answer for everything. So if you plug in a device on a Mac or a PC and it works, use it. If it doesn't, go to the website and download the latest version of the driver. That's what I had to do with my Zoom live track on the Mac because it needed a new driver. Let's see. I think I saw another question here from Gregory. Now, this will be interesting. How is DistroKid going to handle the Kookaburra issue with this song? Yeah, so if you're not familiar, and I actually don't honestly know the result of the court case and how it worked, but I'm doing a cover of this song. Now, there was a case where this stole from an old Australian song called Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, Merry, Merry King of the Bush is he. Now I'm going to get a copyright claim for that song too. It'll actually be interesting to see if in the copyright claim of this video, I get one for the melody here in YouTube, I get one for the melody of that song, as well as for the actual, I'll definitely get one for Down Under, or at least I hope I will, but I don't know. When there's a song, because like if you did like the Drugs Don't Know, what is it, the Verve song, Bittersweet Symphony, which also you samples something else, a cover song of a song that has another song in it, I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll find out. Yeah, Vegemite versus Nutella. Definitely don't eat spoonfuls of Vegemite. It does not make sense at all. But I indeed had Vegemite toast for breakfast, and it's delicious. So there you go. All right, let's finish up here. So thank you all for being here. This has been GarageBand Weekly, extended sort of two-part edition. So again, if you're watching on the replay, you're probably seeing this in a separate video that we're going to have to release because of the copyright claim things. And by the way, that's not a bad thing. If I'm doing a cover song and if I'm actually using someone else's audio, that's not actually a bad thing. What am I doing? I'm getting replay of what's going on. I don't know where that's coming through. I'm streaming my own thing and it's coming back in through my. That's a sign that it's time to go. Thanks everyone for being here. As we say at the end of every show, please be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, keep creating in GarageBand, and I'll see you tomorrow to find out all about these. It'll drop you there straight after this show as well. So set a reminder for that one and find out what did Apple announce at their Apple Unleashed event. Thanks, folks. I'll see you next time.